Hey everyone, this is Travis with South Sound Snakes. As you can see, I have a mini fridge here and I'm going to convert this into my new incubator. I have an incubator that works great, however I want to get this one dialed in and working for this upcoming season. I have a few females that are ready to lay in February and I want to make sure that this is working and has the proper temps. So I'm just going to walk you through a step-by-step and show you how to convert a mini fridge into an incubator. Alright guys, so as you can see, there's a couple things on the inside that you're going to need to remove if you have a mini fridge like this. Obviously the shelving units, and then in the back there is electrical components. There is a light in this, which is right up here, which is great. So I want to try to keep that intact so that I have a light inside the incubator. I'm not going to have to do a whole lot with heating because right now, without any heat element in there, it stays at 82 degrees because of the ambient temperature in my snake room. However, I'm going to get some 11-inch heat tape and put that in the back, and then a fan to circulate the air. So step one for me is to remove all of the components on the inside. Now you don't have to start on the inside, you could start on the back side. However, some of the wires that go to the motor in the back are easier to get to and remove first, so that the whole unit in the back will just slide out. So let me set the camera up on a tripod and we will walk you through this. See you soon. Alright, the camera's on the tripod, so now I'm going to just start removing all of the components from the inside. As you can see, the shelves come out really easily. There's these little clips on the side and they just pop out. They lift up and just pop them right out. You want to make sure to keep track of all these clips, because if you lose them, yes, you can go pick them up, but sometimes they don't fit exactly like what came with the refrigerator. So set these aside and make sure to not lose them. There's a drain pan in the back of my fridge, which is great because that gives me a hole right here so that I can run all of my wires through for my thermostat, my heat tape, anything that is electrical. And then what I will do is I will just seal it up with some spray foam or some caulking. You're going to need some kind of screw gun so that you can unscrew the back panels and pull those out. You can use a regular screwdriver, however a screw gun definitely works a lot easier. Unless you're planning on putting any of these panels back on, which I don't recommend because that just takes up space in your incubator, you don't need to worry about saving the screws or the little spacers that are in the unit. But set those aside just in case. You may want to hide the heat tape, some people do. For looks, not necessary, but you could. If you have a screw gun, you definitely want an extension on it so that you can reach these back screws easily. These units come with a fan. What I'm going to try to do is save this fan and see if I can reuse it as the fan to circulate the air. You don't want the air to get stagnant. You want that consistent circulation of air. So we'll see, but it's something that I'm going to experiment with and see if I can just keep this fan. Again, if you're going to use the back panels, just set them aside. Make sure to keep all the screws so that the proper screws go back in there. Some of them have nuts on the back of the screws, some have washers, so make sure that you keep those. That way you don't have to try and match something up that may strip out the unit. Okay, here's the fan. Again, I'm hoping that I can use this. It may be too powerful. Alright guys, so as you can see, pretty easy. I ended up disconnecting some screws in the back as well, just to open up that cavity. Right up there is where all of the electrical is tied into. Coming up in the corner there is the wires that run to the light. So again, I'm going to try and keep all of the things functioning that I would use for an incubator. That saves me money and it just makes things more efficient. Once I'm done, I can hold 10 clutches of eggs in here in this size of refrigerator. So it's perfect for me. However, not all my females are going to lay at the same time, so I can constantly be rotating clutches of eggs in the incubator. I don't need anything larger than this. One thing that you want to make sure to do before you start adding things back in, thoroughly clean the inside of the refrigerator. You don't know where some of these have been or how long they've been sitting, mold or anything like that. This one was pretty clean from the beginning, so I don't necessarily have to worry about mold or anything. However, I'm still going to use a bleach water solution and just completely clean out all of the inside before putting any of the components back in, and especially before I put any eggs in the incubator. Let me go ahead and go to the back, and then we will start removing the parts from there. Alright guys, so what I did is I laid the refrigerator down on the door and removed this back panel. You have this coil that's what's pumping cold air into the refrigerator unit itself. You have the motor back here, which is the main part of why your refrigerator is so heavy because these units aren't light. So back here you have some bolts, and those I'm just taking and putting correct socket on an extension with my screw gun to make it a lot easier and faster to remove these bolts. Alright guys, so a couple of screws that I forgot about. There's one there right here, and that goes here. This one's for a ground wire, and then there's one on this side here that goes up here. Once you have those two screws removed, this whole motor and fan and cooling unit, all of that just slides right out. Now you still got to remove the bolts on the bottom if you're going to reuse this plate, which I recommend so that it stays level on the ground. There's some foot adjustments down there, and then there's one that goes here and here so that you can adjust your refrigerator and it maintains that level stability. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. You don't have to. You can just pull that whole unit out and discard that bottom plate there. It also provides that screw hole for the ground wire that you're going to want to keep if you're reusing the fan inside and the light. So you always want to make sure to be grounded to metal if you're going to be plugging this in, so that you don't get any current transferring from the unit right into you. So anyway, let me go ahead and pull this out and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all empty. Alright guys, so everything is completely removed from the back. There's that hole there that this panel right here goes back into. Down here is where some wires ran that went to the fan and the light and came to the back motor. So I'm not sure if I'm going to just plug that up or if I'm going to use that for wires from the heat tape thermostat, or this hole here, the drain hole that goes inside. The drain hole may be easier just to plug up and run the wires through here, but that's something I can decide later on. So again, everything is removed from the back. You have this shelf here that you can put back in, and once it's back in like that, then you can use that to store all of your wires and anything else that you need to store for running the incubator. And then the back here can go right back over top, and that sits just like that, and then everything would be hidden, and the wires then can come right out here to your power strip where everything is plugged into, and that is plugged into your outlet. So going to clean everything up, put everything back together, and recap what we did. See you soon. Alright guys, well here is the final results. I got it all cleaned out, put back together. As you can see, I have the shelves in there. Testing out an egg box, which hopefully will have eggs in it come the 5th of February. Let's open it up and see what I did inside. As you can see, I have 12-inch heat tape and a fan. I got those from Reptile Basics. I couldn't use the other fan, it was just too powerful, and you don't want too much air circulating through your incubator. Have a thermostat that has a heat probe and a humidity probe, and as you can see, 88 degrees inside the egg box, which is where you want to measure your temperature, is in the egg box, not in the incubator. So hopefully guys, this answers any questions that you might have if you ever want to try and turn a mini fridge into an incubator. Pretty easy DIY, but if you have any questions about the process, just leave them in the comments below and I will respond back to you. Thanks for watching guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.